The beginner entrepreneur is an emotional wreck. When I first started trying to make money online, I had a really strong why because I absolutely hated my job and there was no way I was going to go back to it. I was going to prove everyone wrong and start making money online. I was sick of all the days coming out of the office when it was dark and rainy. I was sick of feeling like just a number, sharing the train with thousands of people. And I was sick for being made to feel guilty for not wanting to work weekends. There was a bunch of other stuff, but I just really didn't like my situation. And whilst that strong why, the strong reason for starting, keeps you going, it also makes you very fickle emotionally. Before I even started anything, I didn't think I had the right personality, so I had a negative spiral about it. Then I actually started posted for a week, got no views, and I spiraled about that. The beginner entrepreneur negatively spirals over the smallest things. They post for 1 week and think they need to quit. They get one negative comment and think they're doing something terribly wrong and need to change everything. They think they look ugly on camera when in reality, no one really cares. They overthink details that really don't matter. It doesn't matter what your situation is, what your personality is. It doesn't even really matter that much the quality of the stuff that you put out. If you just do more of it, then you will eventually succeed. If you're doing something and it doesn't work, only make tiny changes. Don't be tempted to flip the entire thing upside down and start over, because it's usually the small things that make a massive difference. All business is just these small improvements that compound over time, and eventually you will hit a point where you start getting success. And you don't know when that's going to be, but all you can do is to just do more of it. The shortcut for this is to invest into a mentor, and they'll literally cut down like 12 months of this into about 1 or 2 months. But personally, I didn't. I wish I did in hindsight, but if you just do more, it will work. And by the way, 2 months is the average time people spend on business before they quit. And that's where literally 90% of people quit. And it's because they start as an emotional wreck and they don't learn to control it. The second biggest mistake people make when they start a business is not understanding what business actually is at its core. To make money, you need to have something that other people want. And whatever you have, the more people want it and the more convinced they are that you can give them it, the more likely it is that you will make money. And the more like concrete and set in stone this is, the better. For example, if you're a fitness coach, you can say, I will help you lose 20 pounds of fat in 2 months. That's a very good offer. And that's why my offer is what it is. I will give you exactly what you want, which is you will make money online. And if you don't, then you get a full refund. If you've woken up from the system, this whole 9 to 5 thing that you've been pushed down your entire life, which you have because you're watching this video, then this is a very compelling offer, because a 9 to 5 job, if you know what it truly is really painful to be stuck in. A 9 to 5 job is literally a window into the next 30 years of your life. You know exactly what the next 30 years of your life are going to look like. That's really depressing to me. Do you see why this is so compelling? Because worst case, you work with me for 2 months, you learn a lot about entrepreneurship and you get it all for free. And best case, you literally quit your job in 60 days. By the way, if that sounds good, you can book a call with me in a description and we can discuss it further. That is a pretty high level of entrepreneurship though. I've been doing this for years, which means I can offer something like that. But for you, you might have to start with something a little bit less compelling than that. And that's okay, I did too. Entrepreneurship is a progression. If you don't currently have some knowledge that people want, then create something that people want. Or just start learning a skill. Get to intermediate level at guitar and start teaching beginners how to start playing guitar. It can even be something like art. If you create really good art, you have something people want, so you can make money from it. And it's the same with my old channel that I made that has 100,000 subscribers. On that channel, I made a game, which is something people want because I made the game interesting. It was a cool idea, which means I made money. The next massive mistake that beginner entrepreneurs make is trying to get views without any real goal. I've made this mistake time and time again of trying to get views without any particular goal. I just thought, if I get the views up first, then I'll create something to sell and make money. But it doesn't really work that way. That's not the best way to do it. If you have 1,000 subscribers, it's possible to make $30,000 a month from those subscribers. Yet, I had 50,000 subscribers a couple of years ago, and I was just barely scraping $1,000 a month. If you have something that people want and it's compelling, then you don't need views. Basically, all views do is just iron out the imperfections in your offer and whatever you're selling. Because if 1 million people look at what you're selling, then one person's going to definitely buy it, even if it's bad. But wouldn't it be a lot easier to just improve the thing that you're selling in the first place, rather than trying to get famous to sell something bad? And this brings me perfectly to the next mistake people make, which is trying to copy people that are already famous. People that sell like $5 things, $15 things. Whatever you sell, you need to sell for at least $500, and you need to make it worth it. All the big entrepreneurs on YouTube that you see now, like Alex Hormozi, they started by selling something expensive to not that many people. They made their money first, and then they became famous. If your main goal is money, focus on the damn money first, and then if you want it, you can start trying to become famous. But it's weird, like a lot of people try to do it backwards. They try to become famous just to make a little bit of money. It's better to have something really good that's hard to say no to for $500 than a shop with like a random $20 t-shirt on it. And it's because of this. If you have something you sell that people really want, it might only take 50 people to sell something that's worth $500. But if you're selling something cheap, like a lot of the famous people, like say a t-shirt, then it might take 500 people to see that t-shirt before one person buys it. So from 500 people, you've only made $20. But it works for them because they have the numbers to back it up. They're selling something cheap because they have the numbers, so they may as well. They didn't get the numbers in the first place to sell the cheap thing. Does that make sense? A lot of people try to get famous because they think it's the way to make money, when in reality, it's a waste of time. And the next mistake that people make is starting with the wrong expectations about the time frame that it's going to take to make money. There's so much conflicting information online that it's hard to apply it, and you're going to have to go through a period of trial and error as a beginner. On your own, if you're past all like the mindset stuff of not wanting to start and not wanting to be consistent, then with that trial and error method, it's going to take about 6 months to make your first dollar, and it's going to roughly take a year, give or take, to start getting consistent income and quit your job. I personally did it with 8 months of consistent work. The only thing you need to do though is eliminate any thoughts from your mind that it's not possible, because anyone can do it. The idea in these videos is to give you value, so hopefully it means that you will make money quicker than that. But if you want to cut the year down to 2 months, book a call with me, link is in the description. I will save you all of that trial and error. See you next video.